TikTok, YouTube, what is going on? Give everybody a second to hop in. Today we are going to talk about are your financial goals flawed? Are your financial goals flawed? And I'm looking at two screens. I got YouTube right here. I got TikTok right here. Are your financial goals flawed? I would like to know, what are some of you all's financial goals? What are some of your financial goals? Wealthy mindset, what's going on? Because here's something that I've learned. I've worked with a lot of people over the years. And whenever they come to me and and one of the first things I always ask is I ask, what is your goal? Like financially. And most people really have the same goal. They want to be financially free. They want to make $100,000 a year or $100,000 a month. They want to travel. Like most people, financial goals are the same. Okay. And so, one of the things I often talk to, whenever I'm talking with somebody about their goals, and if you're just joining, I'm looking at two screens. I got YouTube here and I got TikTok here. And so, one of the things that I'm often trying to share with a lot of my clients is we have to figure out, where is your break even point first. Where's your break even point? And what type of effort will it take to even accomplish that goal? What type of effort it will take to even accomplish that goal? Because here's the thing that I think a lot of people have never really done. A lot of people don't know what it actually takes to get to whatever goal or level or whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. And it takes an immense amount of intensity. If you're following me in the chat, type the word intense. There's an immense amount of intensity that it takes, an immense amount of effort it takes for one to hit a goal, especially if you don't know where your starting point is, or if your thinking is flawed of where your starting point is at. I'll give you an example. Can you imagine digging a hole? Okay. Imagine digging a hole, but the dirt starts 20 feet above ground. Your starting point is not ground zero. This is most people's reality. I think so often people go into situations, especially when it comes to investing in a mentor or starting a weight loss program or whatever it is, whatever that thing is you are wanting to accomplish. Most people don't start at ground zero. Whether it's in the obstacle, meaning the 20 feet of dirt before you hit ground zero, if you are on a weight loss journey, let's say your goal is to be 170 pounds. If you weigh 300, your starting point, or even if you weigh 200, 250, your starting point is different than someone who's starting at 190. And so when we look at this financial goal, where is your entry point at? Are you coming to this goal, or are you coming to this financial journey with a ton of financial baggage? Everybody type in the chat, financial baggage. Are you coming to your goal, your financial goal, with financial baggage? And no matter where your starting point is, are you intense enough to fight through that baggage? Let me read the definition of the word intense. An extreme force, degree, or strength. An extreme force, degree, or strength. Do you have the intents? Do you have the force? Do you have the strength to endure or have the wherewithal to go through? Do you have the endurance to deal with the financial baggage? That's what we're going to talk about here today. And that's only a question you can answer. The fortitude. Do you have the fortitude to push through the financial baggage? And I'm going to break that down a little bit here today. I'm going to break that down. See, here's the thing, and I see this a lot, especially on social media. Most people, or let me not use the word most, a lot of people live in this financial utopia. And let me tell you what the word utopia means. Okay? Utopia is an imagined place or state of things in which everything is perfect. So could you imagine you're $200,000 in debt, in bad debt, 200,000 in consumer debt. Let's just say you're 50,000 in consumer debt. Your car got repoed, you got some credit card debt, and you got some student loan debt. So you have 50 to $200,000 of financial baggage. Okay? Your credit is ruined. You owe every single bank. Your finances are strapped. You're living check to check. And then you meet someone who you deem as your financial savior. You're like, you know what? I can see myself working with this young lady or this young man. I see that their teachings can help me to get back to stability financially. And so you join their program and you love everything you're hearing. You see the results you or from the testimonials they're getting, and then you join with your financial baggage, and then you get discouraged after week 2 because or you get discouraged after month 3 because those collections aren't coming off fast enough. You get discouraged after month 3 because you can't get funding for your business. You get discouraged after month 3 because your business is not making the type of money that the coach told you that you could be making after 90 days. Or you're discouraged because you haven't gotten that first property in 90 days. But here's the thing I know you didn't look at. You didn't look at your financial baggage. You didn't look at that you have 2 repossessions. You didn't look at that you have child support on your credit reporting that's in arrears. You didn't look at the fact that you had a vehicle in repo status. You didn't look at the fact that you have late payments on your student loans going back the past 3 to 5 years. You didn't look at that you let credit cards go into delinquent status. You didn't look at the fact that you got an eviction on your credit. So you have all of these mounting financial baggages that is preventing you from getting to that next level. We have these unrealistic financial goals, all because we have not taken the time to look at where we are financially. Everybody type in the chat for those who are following financial audit. When is the last time you've done a financial audit? Do you know your number? Do you know how much you make versus how much your expenses are? Not how much the job said they pay you. See, we need to learn this information like we know our favorite rapper songs, like we know our favorite entertainer song, like we know our favorite actress or actor's lines in our favorite movie. When was the last time you done a financial audit? And for most people, it's never. Because a financial audit is bigger than just doing a budget. I didn't say do a budget. The budget is one facet of the financial audit. See, these are things nobody ever thinks about. We just want to be real estate investors. We want to just start a business. We want to open up that restaurant. We want to start that whatever type of business we're starting, not knowing what our financial baggage looks like. We haven't done a financial audit. I know that just based upon the number of entrepreneurs I work with who don't file their taxes, the number of entrepreneurs who I work with who don't keep proper books of their transactions. If you guys and girls haven't noticed, banks are starting to ask more for P&Ls and balance sheets and all of these things. Are you underinsured? Meaning, if things hit the fan, do you have enough coverage to cover you to get you back to ground zero? Type in the chat ground zero. Do you have enough financial coverage? Whether it's in insurance, life insurance, IULs, do you own property? Do you have enough things you can liquidate to where if your business went bad, if you lost your job today, can you get back to ground zero financially? And for most people, the answer is no. I work with them all day long. And my goal for them and my job is to point out these holes inside of their financial game plan for their life. Most people do not have a financial game plan for their life. They're just going through life winging it financially with their fingers crossed, manifesting, hoping somebody gives them a handout, hoping somebody spots them and make them rich, hoping they win the lottery, hoping their sports ticket hit, hoping they win big at the crack table, the blackjack table. Like most people live their life off of hope. Let me read the definition of hope. Let me read the definition of hope. A feeling or expectation and desire for a certain thing to happen. So we're desiring to win the lottery. We're desiring for that sports ticket to hit. We're desiring to win at that blackjack table. We're desiring for our video to go viral. Like going viral is like the new lottery ticket for a lot of people. People will come online and cry on cue hoping to go viral. People will come on here and lie and make up stories of just whatever. They will create these fictitious things trying to go viral, hoping that is their new lottery ticket out of poverty. Going viral it does not get everybody out of poverty. Just like being a rapper, being an entertainer, being on TV, that does not guarantee you to get out of poverty. See, I'm going to go over 5 things that prevents people from advancing mentally, financially, all of these things. Okay? Let me give you 5 things. Number 1, people have unrealistic expectations. People have unrealistic expectations. What does that expectation look like? Again, you come to the game with financial baggage. What's up, Vance? Absolutely, man. Definitely. I'm going to keep sending people y'all way too, man. A lot of people have unrealistic expectations, but they have a ton of financial baggage. Again, here's what baggage looks like financially. Did you know that a lot of people, when they're ready to start a business, they're $90,000 to $100,000 in debt, from auto loans to mortgage payments, to credit card debt, to miscellaneous debt, student loan debt. They've amassed all of this debt, 50 to 100,000. We can even cut that in half. Let's say 40 to 50,000, especially after the pandemic. I know for a fact a lot of people are like 90 to 100,000. They went and bought all these vehicles where the equity, where they're upside down in these cars. They went and borrowed all of this money trying to do all of these credit plays and didn't have anything real. They went out and started all of these businesses with no type of infrastructure, no type of education, no type of game plan, no type of financial checks and balances. So now you're 50 to $100,000 in debt, and now you want to play a new game. Now you want to try to get into real estate. Now you want to buy those vending machines. Now you want to do all of these things. And so now you went back to work, and your regular job has to service the financial baggage plus your regular bills. And then you're trying to figure out how to squeeze some money out of that to put into your business. And so now you're skimping on your marketing. You can't afford a website. You can't even afford to re-register your LLC, all because of your financial baggage. But yet you expect that coach, you expect that one course, you expect that one book, you expect to go to one conference, and all of that financial baggage is supposed to disappear, not knowing that you have to have a certain level of intensity, a certain amount of effort to make that go right. What does that mean? You type this in the chat. You got to learn how to increase your income. You got to figure out how to make some more money. You have to. You have to learn how to decrease your expenditures and increase your income. Or I like to say, you got to figure out how to increase cash flow, because increasing your income is not always the answer. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay. I'm going to tell you why. I want everybody, if you get a chance, to go watch the documentary, The Secret of Oz. Somebody type that in the chat. Go watch the documentary about, the title is called The Secret of Oz, and it's on YouTube for free. Okay. And it was created and directed by Bill Steele. Okay. Bill Steele put together this documentary called The Secret of Oz. I'm telling y'all, when you start going down this financial rabbit hole, it will blow your mind and you will start to think differently. And so when you go and watch that documentary called The Secret of Oz, and then go watch my YouTube video I did about 2 weeks ago talking about the illusion of money, you will start to understand why you can constantly go out there. You can get stimulus checks from the president. You got the PPP loan. You got all of that money to stay home from COVID. You did all of these things and you're still in a bad place financially. Why is that? Because getting more money does not change your circumstance. It does not. If you do not know how to position yourself to learn how to create cash flow opportunities and mitigate your tax liability by leveraging the exact same debt system that that they created, or not knowing that money is like, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm telling you, once you all start really going to piece this stuff together, you will never be the same again. Think about this. Think about this. And I want somebody to try to answer this question for me if you can. Why is the only form of currency that is not taxable debt? Let me ask that question again. Why is the only form of currency not taxable debt or credit? Okay. So ask yourself this question. Why is the only form of currency that is not taxable? Meaning, why is it that you don't have to pay debt on credit? And once you learn that our entire society was structured around debt, go and watch The Secret of Oz. Go read The Creature of Jekyll Island, and you will start to learn that this is why you are so caught up in this matrix, because you are not learning how to play the game. And because you don't do your financial audits, because you have so much financial baggage, it puts you in a position to where you cannot play the game. The game of Monopoly was taught to show you the real game. Let me say that again. The game of Monopoly was taught to show you how to play the real game. Unfortunately, a lot of people thought it was just a game, but it was teaching you how to play the game. And once you start to put all of these pieces of the puzzle together, and then you start learning that the character on the Monopoly game is JP Morgan. And then once you learn that JP Morgan has over $400 billion of debt, but they control almost $5 trillion in assets, then you start to wonder why. And they pay less taxes than middle America. You will start to say, man, we got bamboozled. You are playing the game all wrong. And you don't have to take my word for it. Just go read the book, The Creature of Jekyll Island, and go watch the documentary for free on YouTube, The Secret of Oz. And you will start to see that as long as you go out there and think that making more money change or getting access to more money, which is always taxable, will always keep you at a deficit. Always. You have to learn how to leverage the game that was created, debt, to be able to make cash flow. This is why you have a lot of entrepreneurs who've learned how to crack the code who don't have to work hard. All we have to know how to do is count. For every dollar that I borrow, which I pay no taxes on, I just have to put it back out there to be able to make me 2.5x plus in cash flow. And then the cash flow that I'm making, the cash flow that I'm making from that asset, I'm going to depreciate that asset, thus in turn making the cash flow I get less tax liable. So until you learn how to play that game of exchange, because the game plan that we were sold on, for every dollar you go out there and work for, you're taxed at 25 to 35%. So now you're only bringing home 75 to 75 to 65 cents of the dollar. But then here's what happens. You can't outpace inflation. Inflation rose almost 8% in the past three. You can't outpace inflation. So now think about this. All I'm asking you is just to think. You don't have to listen to me, but just turn your brain on for a second. I know we like to turn it off when we get home and watch mindless television. Ask yourself this. If for every dollar I make, I'm taxed 25 to 35%, and then I take that dollar and go and spend it on something, and then I'm taxed another 7 to 10%. So now that dollar is only worth about 50%. And then I go put it in the bank, and the bank charges me a percentage off of that dollar. So now that dollar is worth about 42 cents. But then the bread cost goes up, the gas cost goes up, milk goes up, cell phone bill goes up, electricity goes up, power bill goes up, everything else goes up. But now you have to try to live your regular life off of that 42 cents, because the other 58 cents was taxed. You got to try to live off the 42. Inflation keeps keeps harping on that 42 cent, and then you want to try to squeeze something out of that to go and start your business. You've been taxed in inflation to death. And then what do? You go out there and you go get a second job. You think making more money is going to solve your problem. No, you have to learn how to decrease your spending and get cash flow. We have to start learning these principles. We have to start learning these, write this down, concrete concepts. Excuse me, abstract concepts. We got to start learning that. So, unrealistic expectations. One of the first reason why a lot of people don't make it. Number two, social media perfection. Social media perfection has ruined so many people mentally, financially, relationship wise. Like social media perfection has created these unrealistic expectations. This is why I say be careful who you listen to. Be careful who you listen to. Number three, focusing on quick wins. Focusing on quick wins. We want to invest $10 today and be a millionaire tomorrow. That's not how life works. That's not how life works. I want everybody to type this in the chat. There's a cost of admission for success. There's a cost of admission for success. Sorry, I'm texting my realtor. There is a cost of admission for your success. How do you calculate that? It depends on what you want your success to look like, how much money you want to make. But just know there's a cost of admission for that success. Now, I can tell you that most people pay a cost of admission. If you went to college, that is the cost of admission you pay for the success, for having the degrees, to having the alphabets after your name, for the job you wanted. That was your, that was your cost of admission. If you want to be an engineer, because you know engineers make X amount of dollars or have the potential to make X amount of dollars, there is a cost of admission to being an engineer. If you want to be a doctor, there is a cost of admission for being a doctor. If you want to be an attorney, there is a cost of admission for being an attorney. If you want to be a realtor, there is a cost of admission for being a realtor. Because then there's levels once you get in the game. What kind of doctor do you want to be? Do you just want your own practice? Do you just want to work for somebody else's practice? There is a cost of admission, because if you want to be the boss, you got to run the building. The cost may be your sleep. The cost is going to be increased expenses. If you want to be an attorney, there's the cost of becoming an attorney. Then, depending on your practice, there's a cost of marketing. There's a cost of the aesthetics of being an attorney. Nobody ever thinks about this stuff. But we want to go watch one free YouTube video and think that we don't have to pay the cost of admission to be successful in real estate as an investor. Look, I've been on this planet 45 years. Don't remind me. 45 years, and I've yet to see somebody become a millionaire for free. I've yet to see it. You can't even come a 100,000 there for free. There is a cost of admission. You can't. You barely can become a 50,000 there for free, because there's a cost of admission. It's called an associate's degree. It's called a bachelor's degree. There is a cost of admission. And so focusing on quick wins, not knowing that one is going to take effort, you're going to have to be intense, and there is a cost of entry to hitting whatever that financial apex it is you're looking to accomplish. So Again, five, I'm going over 5 reasons why people aren't going to make it. They're just not. We're going to call it what it is. Number one, unrealistic expectations. Number two, social media perfections. Number three, focusing on quick wins. Number four, the myth of effortless wealth. The myth of effortless wealth. See, a lot of people, when you look at that person who you admire or who you want to be like, whether it's in entertainment, as an entrepreneur, as a business person, you don't know what they've been through to get to where they are. I tell people this is a 20-year journey. I've posted my journal entries from 2004. I've posted my journal entries from 2011. I've posted the lawsuits from the bad franchise I invested in. I've posted my credit score being a 480. I've posted all of the things and all of the financial baggage I've had to overcome. That was a part of my cost of admission. And guess what? I still could not stop investing in Will Roundtree. I don't care how many times I've lost. I don't care how many times I've lost. I was still willing to make those investments to better myself because sometimes the losses is the data. I know why that franchise went bad. I should not have got into it just to make money. So my intentions were not in the right were not in the right place. And I ignored all of the red flags of the franchise owner. I teach you all I went against in 2014. But if that hadn't happened, I probably wouldn't be here today. You know, I used to always say, man, I wish I would have had of me. I wish I would have had a Will Roundtree in 2010. And then I say, no, I don't. Because if I this version of me. Now, why do I say that? You need to figure out what version of you do you want to be? What version of you do you want to be? And you can't get there by having myths of effortless wealth, thinking that it's supposed to fall out the sky. I often talk about the lottery mentality or the crapshoot mentality or the sports book gambler mentality. Over $14 billion was spent last month on sports bet gambling. Most people think just like here's the reality. Here's the reality. Let's say you win a $10,000 ticket in sports betting. Okay. Let's say you win $25,000 in gambling. Somebody type 25,000 in the chat. Let's say you win $25,000 from sports betting, from playing craps, from blackjack. You win 25,000. Here is my question to you. Here's my question to you. If you're $100,000 in debt, did it really change your life? If you're $50,000 in debt, did the 25,000 really change your life? Because once the 25,000 is spent, you're right back in the same position. Once you go out there and you take that trip and you done bought some new clothes and you done bought a couple pair of shoes, you bought a handbag, you bought a belt, all of the things and all of the trappings that mean nothing. Okay? So you won 25,000, you're 50 to 75 to $100,000 in debt. That 25,000 doesn't even move the needle because 9 times out of 10, you're not putting it towards your financial baggage. And then guess what? You got to wait another lifetime to hit another 25,000. Think about that. But imagine if you went through 5 steps of creating a financial reality, which I'm going to go over here today. What if you take 25,000 and open up a secure credit card? That makes no sense. A secure credit card, I would never take 25,000 and open up a secure credit card. For one, you're tying up 25,000 that's making you no money. This is why people need to do a financial audit. I would not take my $25,000 winnings and put it in a secured credit card. It's a waste of money. So now your credit is going to be dictated off of your own money. So you can't even spend your own money because if you go over 30% utilization, your score drops. Then you tied up 25,000 that's not making you no money. You still $100,000 in debt. So a $25,000 secure credit card does you no good. So ask yourself, have you ever done a financial audit? Do you know your numbers? Do you know your income? Do you know your net income? Do you know your expenses? A good friend of mine is the VP over at US Bank. And she said most of the people that call her or that talk to her who are trying to borrow some money don't even know how much money they make. And by the time they get to the underwriter, they fumbled the bag. This is why people like this is why like most of the time is because of what you don't know is why you're not getting no money out here. Is what you don't know is why you're not getting those strong credit approvals to run your real business. So 5 reasons why some people just not gonna make it financially. Unrealistic expectations, social media perfection or wanting social media perfection, focusing on quick wins, the myth of effortless wealth, and number 5, fear of failure. The fear of failure. See, here's the thing about fear. It actually is something that messes a lot of people up. And we use fear like kryptonite. We create these scenarios and say, "Oh, I'm scared to fail. I'm scared to be embarrassed. I'm scared to lose my money." You lose money every week going to Starbucks and crumble cookie and gambling and sports betting and strip clubs and weed, and you lose money every day. So how are you scared to lose money? You're not where you want to be. You've been claiming the same goal for the past 10 New Years. So how can you be scared to fail if you're already failing? You can't say, "Oh, well, I'm scared because I don't know who to trust." You don't even trust yourself because you're not willing to bet on yourself. You should be more scared of yourself than the person who you looking at potentially buying from. Because you do more damage to you than that person can. Because if you had more trust in yourself, you would know half the things that people are saying is not real. They're telling you it's as simple as getting an LLC and going to get $50,000. And you're sitting there with a 520 credit score thinking you're about to go get $100,000 when nobody in the world has even given you $5,000 of credit. No, you don't trust yourself. Because, see, when you bet on yourself, you put yourself in positions to make things go right. You're not counting on somebody else to make it go right. When you bet on yourself, you put yourself in positions to make things go right. See, they say fear is false evidence appearing real. Let me give you a different acronym that I came up with. See, fear is facing everything and rise. See, fear shouldn't just scare you, but it should also motivate you. See, I was scared to go back to being homeless. I was scared to go back to hide my car from the repo man. I was scared to go back to having a 580 credit score. Because when you have bad credit, life is expensive. When you have bad credit, life is expensive. I was scared to going back to having to put a bank account in my brother's name. I was scared to go back at sleeping in my car. I was scared to go back of playing beat it to the bank, meaning I'm trying to hurry up and put some money in the bank account before the bills come out. I was scared to having my power getting cut off on the weekends. I was scared to go back to where my cell phone was constantly being disconnected because I couldn't afford the bill. So it wasn't that I was scared to invest in myself, to invest in real estate, to invest into education. No, I'm not scared of that. I'm scared to go back to the current conditions in which I came from. That's what I was fearful of. And so I use fear to face everything and rise, to rise above all of the BS in my life. I'm never going back to that position. For one, I own too much stuff. And when you get to that point and when you can speak confidently and say, you know what, I know you, I'm not saying you will be a billionaire or a zillionaire, but I know I'll never be in that position again because I have too many things that I've created to always ensure that I have financial stability. As long as I'm breathing, people need somewhere to live. As long as I'm breathing, real estate is always going to be one of the top asset classes, which is why I invest in real estate more than any other asset class. As long as I'm breathing, I'm going to have a living benefit life insurance policy in which I can borrow from. As long as I'm breathing, I know that I'm always going to leverage debt because debt is the only form of currency that is not taxed, while everybody else is going out there trying to run up a bag and getting taxed 25 to 35%. You didn't get number four. All right, I'll go over them again. Unrealistic expectations, having social media perfection, focusing on quick wins, the myths of effortless wealth, thinking that you can just wake up and magic pixie dust is going to drop $1 million in your lap, and fear of failure. Fear of failure. And the new acronym for fear is face everything and rise. Face everything and rise. My level of intensity, which is why I don't pay attention to trolls. I already know that trolls are usually losing in life. Like, do you know how much energy it takes to to be negative to people? Like, I guarantee you can't even be mad all day. And to wake up on purpose, to go at people on purpose, to try to say negative things, you have to be a miserable individual for that to be your agenda every single day. Ernest, yes. Yes, we do, Ernest. I'll put my email, put our information in the chat, and you can reach out to our team, book a free call, and somebody could do a free assessment. So now I'm going to give you 5 things to increase your financial reality. I'm going to give you 5 things to increase your financial reality. Number one, you got to create a detailed budget. I promise you, most people don't know how much money they make. They know how much the job told you they pay you, but most people don't know how much money they make. Will that explain all the recent job strikes? People will not change. Absolutely. Create a detailed budget. Do you even know how much money is going out of your bank account every day? Most people do not. If you are not tracking every dollar using some type of budgeting app, or for my business owners, and or you're not using some type of bookkeeping service or a bookkeeping app, you do not know how much money you are spending. I promise you. And for whatever however much you think it is, it's usually double. because you're not counting the times when you're running to the store real quick and you had to buy those pair of pants. You didn't count the time when you got a mocha chocolate latte. I don't know the Starbucks verbiage. You didn't track all of that. And next thing you know, you done looked up and you done spent $300 extra per week. That's $1,200 a month that you don't have. And you want to know where it came from? Your credit cards. This is how people go in credit card debt, because they don't know how much money they spend. This is why people go into credit card debt. They don't realize, like, and I'm not trying to be funny. I can't Let me tell you how many times, let me show you something that I see often. And some of you have probably seen this. I've literally seen people at the club or at the restaurant trying to transfer money so that the transaction that they can't afford to pay for can go through. This is how people get in credit card debt. And they wonder why they have financial baggage and why they can't buy no real estate, why they can't invest, this is why they can't do nothing. And then get mad at everybody else. They jump on people's lives, cussing them out, mad at them. No, they're really mad at themselves because of all of the opportunities that they've missed out on because they ran their credit card debt up to eat some crab legs. This is why you got to create a detailed budget. Number 2, invest in education. Not just go to school and get a degree. That's schooling. Education is different. If you're being educated on taxes, on finances, on economics, on credit, on investing, you will not make it out of this financial matrix. Again, go watch the Creator of Oz documentary for free on YouTube. Go watch the documentary on YouTube for free, the Secret of Oz, excuse me. And when you watch that, you're going to be like, you're going to come back here or go watch my video I did 2 weeks ago about the illusion of money and say to yourself, if I do not get my together, I am doomed financially. See, if you live on the East Coast, the price of everything about to go up. You know what's in your bank account. Can you afford $60 for a pack of tissue? Can you afford $25 for a dozen of eggs? It already went from $6 to $10. Can you afford your electricity bill to go up? Can you afford your car to not have a car part? Some people can't afford to even put their car in the shop because the cost of parts are going to increase. Most people having a hard time with their current living inflation situation. What you going to do now? Because you haven't learned how to play these games. So you got to invest in financial education to learn more, to increase your knowingness, to increase your belief. Because some of that education may have to be you being personally developed to changing your way of thinking. I haven't had a car note in 7 years, King. Next, set clear goals financially. Set clear goals. I promise you, 90% of people don't know how to create a goal. It has to be extremely detailed. You need to know exactly. Like I work with people all the time, and they're like, and I'm saying, hey, what's your goal? And they said, oh, I want to make 50,000 or 100,000 a month. And I'm like, okay, great. What is your average cost per sale after expenses? This means your customer acquisition. This means your taxes, paying your staff, paying yourself. What is your average cost per sale? Okay. So let's say you do eyelashes. Okay. Everybody grab their calculators out. Let me show you some things. So let's say your goal is to make 50,000 a month doing eyelashes. Okay. And let's say to do eyelashes, you're charging $180 per person to do eyelashes. Now, here's where people mess up at as the entrepreneur. That 180 is not all profit. You got taxes. This is why a lot of y'all get in tax trouble. Y'all want to spend the whole 180. You make you make 360, and then you go out that night and buying hookah. You work the whole day just to go smoke hookah. Oh, yo. So out of this 180, you got taxes, you got to put back into your rent, your marketing cost. So let's say out of this 180, you made $75. Okay. So out of that $180 for every eyelash client you had, your profit is $75. Okay. Now remember, you want to make $50,000 a month. So what you have to do is you got to take $50,000 and divide it by this. Okay. Because you're saying that's what you want to net. So you're going to take 50,000 divided by 75. That is 606. I'm going to just round up. That is 667 eyelashes you have to do. When do you have time to do? Can you personally do 680 eyelashes a month? You personally have to do almost 700 eyelashes a month on to get a net profit of $50,000 net profit. Because again, you got to know your number. Everybody type in the chat, know your number. See, we're living off of gross income. No, you need to live off of net income or net cash flow. Stop living off of gross. It's not real. And so as that entrepreneur doing eyelashes or doing nails or cutting hair or whatever it is you do, you have to figure out and know your numbers from the net numbers. And then you got to figure out for every client that I sell, how many clients do I have to service to hit my net financial goal? That is setting a clear goal. That is setting a clear goal. So you got create a detailed budget, invest in financial education. Number 3, setting a clear financial goal. Number 4, you have to automate your investing discipline. Every single month, I have money going to I'm investing in EFTs every single month. I don't even look at it. I don't look at it. Every quarter, I'm always going to make. Every quarter, I ensure I buy a piece of property. Okay. Sometimes it's more than one, but my focus, and I'm laser focused, and I have a level of intensity that every single quarter I have to buy a piece of property. I have to, because I am automating my investing. I am creating that habit. Because see, here's another reason why a lot of people don't hit their goals. See, people think it takes 21 or 30 days to create a new habit. No, it actually takes up to 250 days to create a new habit. What makes you think you can go 25, 35, 45, even 50 and 65 years of bad habits and think it's going to change over 30 days? No, you have to almost go a full year creating a lifestyle change in order to create and develop a new financial habit. So you have to automate your investing. You have to automate it. These are the 5 things you got to do to increase your financial reality. Create a budget, detailed budget, invest in financial education, set clear financial goals, automate your investing. And the last one is you have to diversify your income outside of your W-2 income through cash flow. Everybody type in the chat cash flow. You have to diversify your income through cash flow. You have to master the game cash flow. Again, another game was created to teach you how to play the game. Cash Flow 101. Another game was created to teach you how to play the game. Monopoly. Another game was created to teach you how to play the game. It's called life. If you can master how to play the game, the board game life, Monopoly, and Cash Flow 101, You can master this game in real life. I actually got my first investment lesson playing the board game Cash Flow 101. That's where I got my first lesson at. So let me leave you all with this and ask yourself this question. Are you in a financial utopia? And a utopia, for those who don't know, it's an imagined place or state of things in which everything is perfect. Most people think their finances are fine. Let it be another shutdown. Let your job go on strike. Let your employer miss your paycheck. Let there be a glitch in the banking system. Bank of America just had an issue today. Are you living in financial utopia? Have you created a financial audit? Have you done a financial audit? Are you living in fear? Or are you working on putting together a financial reality game plan? So I'm actually putting together a 10-step financial audit game plan that I'm going to be offering this Black Friday. I'm putting it together now. It's actually pretty much created, but I have to get it trademarked and all of this stuff because people like to steal your information. So I'm putting all of the sauce on it that I have to, or my attorney is. So with that being said, let's go out here. Let's be great. Let's get out of this financial utopia, especially when if you can't afford to go buy what it is that you want to buy, no disrespect. Meaning, if you want a Mercedes, here's why some people live in financial utopia. The barrier of entry to look like you got money is lower. Let me say that again. A lot of people live in financial utopia because the barrier of entry of looking like you have wealth is low. Meaning, you want a Mercedes, you can go get an A class. You want a BMW, you can go drive a 3 Series. No disrespect to any of those models. You want to travel, you can do a 4-pay payment plan, or you can catch a flight with 5 connections and live 10 in the hotel and sleep 10 in a hotel. Now, I'm not knocking those things, but what I'm simply saying, I know that that's not how most people actually want to travel or drive. But because the barrier of entry to look like you got money is so low, everybody thinks that they got it, living in financial utopia. So with that being said, appreciate y'all. Y'all go out there, be great. Make sure you keep your notifications on. I'm gonna come on here and keep training and giving y'all some of this game. And as always, I'll see y'all at the top. Peace.